In real life, it takes years of learning and hard work to enter the medical field, but in the video game world, you can simply just throw doctor in your name and you're good to go. We considered making a top 10 praising the best docs, but come on, this is the internet. And the internet likes hate.
But first, let's clarify our definition of doctor. As long as you've got a degree or your name implies your doctorness, you qualify. This list is based solely on how well they do their job.
So, hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
And I'm Nervous Nick.
For ScrewAttack's top 10 worst doctors in video games.
Number 10.
Now you're going to see plenty of doctors on this list who mess up, but only one messes up on purpose. Dr. Hal Emmerich, aka Otacon.
His genius allows him to create the original Metal Gear, but his philosophy says that nothing is perfect unless it's quote-unquote flawed. So what flaw is incorporated into this mech suit of death?
The cockpit opens up, leaving the pilot totally exposed to the world and bullets to his face. Otacon knew people would be piloting these things, therefore knowingly putting human lives at risk. At this point, you might as well just put a giant target on your head. But really, the big question is, who's dumber? Otacon or the pilot?
Well, what if the pilot didn't even know what was going to happen? Like, he's just going into battle and then all of a sudden it just starts opening up for some reason.
Number 9.
There's not a whole lot of careers Mario hasn't attempted over the years, and one of the most famous attempts happens to be in the field of medicine.
It's obvious that Mario's not qualified for this job at all. He helps you fight fever, chills, and, yeah, that's it. Besides, when you have a fever, isn't it kind of implied that you have the chills too? I mean, they're kind of the same thing.
Dr. Mario's solution for every single issue? Ramming medication down your throat until the viruses go away. Doesn't matter how long it takes, how many pills it takes, he doesn't stop until they're gone.
Number 8.
Star Trek. Nick, why are we looking at Star Trek?
Because this guy is next on our list.
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, you remember when I put that game Seaman into the vault?
My name is Leonard Nimoy, and I will be your guide.
Oh yeah, Seaman, of course, yeah. At the beginning of the game, Leonard Nimoy himself gives you the biggest douchebag of a pet you can ask for, and we're not totally sure, but we think he may have created this ugly little monstrosity. But, Nick, I mean, is he really a doctor?
Yeah, he's 4 times the doctor of anybody else on this list because he's got 4 doctorate degrees. He totally counts.
God, you're a jackass.
Number 7.
It takes a seriously talented doctor to replace a missing arm with a super powerful roboticized one complete with grappling hook. But just because you're talented doesn't mean you aren't a complete and total moron.
Somebody turned your wife into an arm.
What?
Spencer from Minor Commando has a wife-powered arm.
Dumb.
Literally, some guy, whoever he is, turned your wife into a bionic arm. Anybody who can honestly claim to have done that clearly deserves to be on this list.
It's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh, and spoiler alert, by the way.
Number 6.
Wait, Craig, relax. Close your eyes for a second.
Okay, just please don't rate me.
Pretend for a moment that you are an evil genius who can make powerful robot versions of your arch nemesis, perfect hovercraft technology, and make enormous flying fortresses in space just because you felt like it one day.
Okay, haven't been raped yet, so where are you going with this, Nick?
You are Dr. Eggman, and despite all your technological prowess, you are frequently outsmarted by a 12-year-old mutant fox and waste the majority of your time making useless robot minions powered by woodland creatures.
You know, you got a point, because if you really think about it, if you have the ability to make these outstanding robots, you'd at least have the ability to give them a power source instead of having Chip and Dale running a freaking hamster wheel inside them, making them go.
Number 5.
He may not be a real doctor, but Doc Lewis from Punch-Out gives Little Mac the prescription to dole out pain. That's a pun.
Craig, you were just horrible. Okay. The man cannot for the life of him understand the consequences of having a severe chocolate addiction. There are hundreds of calories in each bar, and the man eats like 39 of them between each meal, even when he's fighting.
What's your favorite flower, son? Mine's chocolate.
Oh, Doc Lewis, you're so fat.
Number 4.
Yeah, you knew Dr. Wily would show up sometime. He created so many Robot Masters and even created Zero, one of the most powerful robots of all time.
But all his credibility as a doctor, completely negated when you consider he created Clown Man, and Plant Man, and Sheep Man. We made an entire top 10 dedicated to Wily's worst designed robots. And besides, Zero was designed to kill Mega Man, but only ended up becoming best friends with like Mega Man X. Fail!
And really, how are you supposed to fly that spaceship around without being detected when it makes that horrible noise?
Why is it getting louder, Nick?
I don't know. I can't stop
Nick,
it.
turn it
It's
down.
happening. I
Nick,
can't.
It's too loud. It's
No,
really, really loud.
I can't.
The viewers are going to turn off the video. Go, Nick, go, quick!
Number 3.
We understand that nobody is perfect in the world. Bound to countless mistakes.
Craig, it's gone.
So I can be normal again?
Yeah, be normal, please.
We understand that nobody's perfect, and we're bound to countless mistakes throughout the course of our lives. But Dr. West from Splatterhouse failed so many times at the same freaking thing, he filled an entire mansion with his failures.
And we're not just talking about any ordinary mistake here. We mean each mistake is a failed experiment that resulted in a bloodthirsty mutant every single time.
How you accidentally create monsters when trying to reanimate a corpse is, I don't know, beyond me, but hey, video games.
Number 2.
Who is it?
It's Dr. Salvador with my chainsaw! Ring, ring.
Most of the people on this list would make terrible surgeons. Both Dr. Salvador, well, we know for sure.
This dude has one method for fixing your ailments. Toothache? Broken leg? How about the flu? It works in so many ways. Let's hit the old recap before we get a PhD in bad doctors. Number 10, Otacon.
Number 9, Dr. Mario.
Number 8, 4 times over, Leonard Nimoy.
Number 7, why is your wife an arm?
Number 6, Dr. Eggman or Robotnik.
Number 5, Doc Lewis.
Number 4, Dr. Wiener Schnitzel and Beers.
You mean Dr. Wiley. Number 3, Dr. West.
And number 2, Dr. Salvador. Go watch previous top 10s.
It's number 1.
Of all the places in the entire world, isn't the hospital the one place you can go to find a reliable doctor?
It is, unless it's the ironically named Hope Hospital from Trauma Center Second Opinion. Now, the culprit here isn't so much Dr. Stiles, whose awesomeness allows him to use the surgical tools to disarm a bomb. The problem comes when he passes on the scalpel
To you. You take control of Styles, and because the game is so freaking hard, you're gonna kill somebody. Dead. Nice job.
and every single time you do, you go into this massive depression. Despair over the accident took root in the young doctor's heart, where it continued to fester for years to come.
Eventually growing so large that it overshadowed everything else.
The hopes that once drove the doctor to greatness were swallowed by emptiness and regret. Friggin' emo.
Congratulations, viewer. You are the worst doctor ever in a video game.
But only if you've played Trauma Center.
Because if you haven't, then Dr. Salvador
Dr.
with the
Salvador,
chainsaw,
yeah,
he's
number
pretty
2.
bad.
Yeah, him.
But
Yeah.
well, that petered out.